Okay, I'm filming myself going over the review. So all of this should make sense to you. If it doesn't, you need to get extra help. On Monday, we are stepping it up a whole nother notch, another whole notch. So make sure that this is all okay for you. So here we go. What is the easiest way to graph a line that is in standard form? The easiest way is to find the x and y intercepts. Standard form is really easy. Plug in 0 for x, solve for y. Plug in 0 for y, solve for x. You get the intercepts. What is the easiest way to graph a line that's in slope-intercept form? Graph the y, intercept, and then use the slope from there. Which form do you prefer? This is totally up to you. I totally prefer slope-intercept form, and you might prefer something different. But I like slope-intercept form, so easy. Okay, write this line in slope-intercept form. So the first thing that I would have done is I would have subtracted 3x from both sides. Then I would have divided everything by -2. So I'd end up with y equals, this is going to look a little weird the way I'm writing it, but that's okay. So the 3x would be on the other side, and it would have been divided by -2. So I would have 2/3 x minus 5. So again, I would have taken the 3x to the, nope, I have that backwards, sorry. I would have taken the 3 to the other side. It would have become negative, but then I would have divided both sides by -2. So I have 3 over 2x minus 5. Okay, write this line in standard form. So I would have multiplied everything by 4. So I would have a 4y. I'll write out that step. If I multiplied everything by 4, I would have 4y equals -3x minus 24. Then I would have had to get the 3x on the other side. So my next step would be 3x plus 4y equals -24. Let me double check myself. So multiply everything by 4. Then get the 3x to the other side. The 3x is a positive number, so that's good. We have it in the right order, the x, then the y, then the number. Good. What is the slope of this line? The slope is found just by looking at what is the number in front of x, so I'm written in slope-intercept form, so the slope is 2. If I was going to use that slope, I would do 2 over 1. What's the slope of this line? Pardon me. So I would put this in standard form. I'm sorry. I should have written put in slope-intercept form first. I'll go fix that. So put in slope-intercept form first. So to put in slope-intercept form, let me put the steps down. First, I would have subtracted 3x from both sides. It would have looked like that when I subtracted 3x from both sides. Then I would have divided everything by -5. So I would get y equals 3/5 x minus 8 over 5. Looks gross, but it is correct. 8 over 5 you might also write as 1 3/5 or 1.6 that would be. Whatever way you decide to write that is up to you. I don't love that. That's not easy to graph, but it still is the case. So what is the slope of that line? Didn't even really have to get all that, but the slope would be 3/5. What is the y-intercept of this line? So the y-intercept is just found by taking in y-intercept form. It's right there. So it's -1, but I want to write your answer as a coordinate. So that means put parentheses, and that means the y-intercept, the 0 goes in for the x, and the y value comes second. What is the x-intercept of this line? So to find that, I plug in 0 for y and solve for x. So that means I'm plugging in 0 for y and I need to find that x. When I plug 0 in for y, I can cover it up. And when I cover it up and I solve for x, I get 5. Number 10, what is the slope of the line that goes through these points? Okay, now I need to do my slope formula. So I'm going to go, it's hard to write on here because I don't have the math ability to like have it look proper, like the way you want it to look, and I don't have a pen. So we're going to do it like this. So 3 minus 7 is going to go on the top. You might even write it like this, top equals, and that's going to be -4. The bottom or the denominator, if I did 3 minus 7, the bottom is going to be negative 2 minus 4, which will equal negative 6. So my slope will equal negative 4 divided by negative 6, which when I reduce it is 2/3. So my slope is 2/3. Okay, make a table of points that are on this line. So that's annoying, but we're gonna just use some shapes. Let's see if we can do this without it being terrible. And let's put a text box in. X is gonna go here, Y is gonna go here, whoops. And for this, it doesn't really matter what we pick for X. So let's say I pick 0, and let's say I pick 1 and I pick 2. Over here, we're gonna have the text box. So with 0, when I plug 0 in, I get negative 5. When I plug 1 in, I get negative 2. And when I plug 2 in, I get 1. So there's the table. Number 12 also wants a table, but now we are being asked to make sure that our y values are not fractions. And that's going to be relevant here because our slope is a fraction. So we want to pick values for x and values for y that are going to avoid fractions when we plug them in. So for x, I'm going to pick 0. But then I'm going to pick things that are going to make the denominator cancel. So I'm going to pick 3 and I'm going to pick 6. Over here, when I plug in 0, I get 2. When I plug in 3, negative 1/3 times 3 is negative 1, plus 2 is 1. When I plug in 6, negative 1/3 times 6 is 2, or I'm sorry. Negative 1/3 times 6 is negative 2, plus 2 gives me 0. There we go. It doesn't look super pretty because I don't have it lined up, but that's okay. Okay, number 13, what's the equation of the graph below? So this is slope-intercept form. I'm going to use slope-intercept form because it is the easiest. You're not going to use standard form to give an equation of a line. We have y equals the slope times x plus the y-intercept. So it looks like my slope is down 1. Okay, this slope is a little bit tough to get. Let's see. Looks like I'm down 2 over 3, down 2 over 3. So I'm going to say the slope is negative 2/3. On a test, again, I would use a picture that's really, really clear. Oh, no, never mind. Look at my slope. See how this is 1, this is 1, this is negative 1. So 2 lines is 1. Didn't totally realize that, but okay. So this is down 1. It looks like this is not a great problem. Looks like I have a point here. So let me just make sure this is clear to you. Looks to me like I have definitely a point here. And then I also have, I'm going to say I have a point here. It's really not very clear. So I apologize for that. Hopefully just the concept makes sense. So let's go. Y equals, now that I put those points there, can you get the slope? So we're going to go up 1, 2, and over 1, 2, 3. So the slope is negative 2/3 x plus 1. Again, if you got that wrong, look at my work and look where I put these 2 points. So down 1, 2 over 1, 2, 3 for the slope. The line is negative, so the slope is negative and my y-intercept is 1. Okay, what's the slope of a vertical line? The slope of a vertical line is undefined. The slope of a horizontal line is 0. So what is the slope between these 2 points? Well, if I do the slope out, I end up getting a fraction, and the bottom of the fraction is 0. I end up getting 3 over 0. I cannot leave my answer like that. This is undefined. So you want to have somewhere written out when the bottom of the fraction is 0, your slope is undefined. Whereas over here, what's the slope between these 2 points? I end up with 0 on the top, and I end up with 4 on the bottom. When 0 is on the top, the slope is 0. You're allowed to have a little paper to mark, I would have that written down somewhere that's really easy to go look up when you have slopes that are of horizontal lines and vertical lines. 18, what is the equation of this line? So now we have it. What's the equation? A vertical line has an equation, x equals a number. And in this case, -4 is where x is. The equation of this line below, now I have a horizontal line. That's going to be y equals a number, and in this case, y equals -5. So somewhere you want to have that written down. Go watch that old video. I guess it wasn't a video, it was a class, but go ask a friend, get those notes if you missed them. Horizontal lines have a slope that is 0 and an equation y equals a number, no x's. Vertical lines have undefined slope and their equation is x equals a number. So write that down, have that somewhere to look at. If it doesn't make sense, ask. Number 20, graph these two lines. Okay. So because I want to make sure that I am neat, I'm going to put some points in. So I'm going to graph this line in purple. Y equals 1/2 x plus 2. So I have a y-intercept of 2, and my slope is up 1 over 2. Up 1 over 2. Ah, way too big. Yikes. We'll just stick with 2 points. Let's do a line. Make it a little bit smaller. Do it in purple. Okay, now I'm going to graph this other line in red. Let's see if I can find where they intersect. So let's do a point. Whoops, I meant to say 3x minus 5. I'll go, yours should be corrected. I'll go fix that. 3x minus 5. And we're going to go up 3. 1, 2, 3 over 1. 1, 2, 3 over 1. Oh, we're going to intersect. 1, 2, 3 over 1. Nope, we're not. Shoot, I meant to make them intersect. Well, let's give an approximate. Up 3 over 1. Okay, you know what? I'm going to go fix my problem and you'll see it the right way. I'm going to say this is y equals -3x minus 5. Yours will say the right thing by the time you see it. So I'm going to go, change. I'm going to erase mine and let's redo it the way you have it so we have an actual intersection point. So tuning in now, because I can't really stop this and start it again, I graphed y equals -3x minus 5. So up 1, 2, 3 to the left one. Here's what it should have been. Up 1, 2, 3 to the left one. Oh, boom, check it. So this line is going to go like this. And these two are going to intersect right here. So where do they intersect? What is that point? I'm going to write they intersect at the point -2, 1. That's a big deal. If you got that right, that's awesome. That's but you should get it right. Like you should understand that. If you don't, you're going to want to get help. Okay. Goodbye.